So here we are back in After Effects. What I'm going to do is I'm happy with this composition the way it is. So I'm going to go up and I'm going to right click on this and I'm going to rename it. And I'm going to go test text star 1 is what I'm going to call that. So I can have my compositions named and follow along. I don't like untitled things or unnamed things. I like labeling things, naming projects, all of it is really important. So I'm going to go right on test. That's my next composition. You can also see the default duration down here is 1 minute and 30 seconds. If you have an idea for a longer animation, you want to make the duration last longer, you can increase that to 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever you want. But I'm going to stick with the default. Yeah, okay. So you now see here's my right on test composition. Nothing's in it because I haven't made anything. And I can click over here. Here's my test text star that I've already made. So go back over here. I'm going to go and I'm going to show you something here with lines. So I'm going to go new, shape layer. Then I'm going to go and instead of up here making a shape, I'm going to go to the pen tool and I'm going to make a line. You can see here the pen tool has selected a stroke. It has no fill up here. So if I want to change the color of that stroke, I could just click on this, or click on that, and then change the color of that. I can change the thickness of the stroke right here, all that stuff. So let's see how thick that is. Okay, that's a bit too thick. Make that a little bit thinner. There you go. So I've made this stroke. Let's say you want this stroke emerging, showing up here. There's this trim paths option that you can add to it. So I'm going to add trim paths. Open up the trim paths. You can change see the endpoint. You can actually animate endpoints or you can animate start points. So I'm actually going to go and make a duplicate of this. I'm going to duplicate that, Command or Control D. There you go. I'm going to turn this one off and I'm going to show you one option. So I'm going to animate the endpoint. I'm going to start that at 0. Boom, click that. Move that over here and animate that endpoint. And now I have the line revealing. Super slow. That's painful. I'm going to move that closer together. I already know that that's too slow. I don't need it fully rendered out. And I'm going to move my work area here so I can just preview it right there. That's still too slow. So there you go. There you go. That's better. So when you see lines appearing on maps and movies, this is kind of how they've done it. Like, you know, boom, 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 and then there's an arrow. Like if you're going from Europe to North America, they'll have this line appear. That's how they do it with trim paths. The other option for the trim path might be, I'm going to turn this one off, would be to do both your start and your end points. So let's have it emerge from both areas. So there's a start point. The end point can be there. I'm not going to horse around with getting this perfect. Move that at the beginning. Start, end. Move that down there. Move that there. And then you can animate it from the middle, like that. So I'm going to collapse that, turn this other one on. Maybe see what they both look like together. Now I've got to move one around. I'm just going to move this one around. Oops. Sometimes if it's doing that to you, if you clicked it, I honestly, most of the time, go down to the transform area and use these things here, values here to move things around. I find it a bit easier. So if I did that and then played it, they can animate, these two things can animate together, the two options. There you go. And you can have lots of fun with just that, making kind of cool things appear and reveal like that. Likewise, let me show you the the basics of the right-on effect. So I'm going to go right-click, new shape layer. I'm going to right-click I'm going to rename this shape layer right on to show you labeling things is super important, keeps you organized. Let's turn those off. Go to right on. I'm going to make another line here. Change that color. So here's how the right on effect works. If I go over here, the effects and presets, I'm going to search for the right on. Here it is, pops up right there. Drag that down on here. You can control stuff up in here and down in here. It'll appear in the effects area. There it goes. So what I typically do, you're like, what's going on here? I'll make my brush size bigger at the beginning just so I can see where the brush is. And there it is, it pops up there. So I'm going to pick an area that I want to reveal this or use the right on as a painting thing if I want to, right? But I'm going to reveal, I'm going to show you a couple things here. So that's at 50. So now I know where that is. I can zoom in here a little bit. There we go. I'm going to decrease that to maybe 35. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start animating the brush position. So I'm going to click here and move this over here. Go to my selection tool. And now you can see I'm animating and moving the brush mark. And just move this in intervals. Move your scrubber over so that you create another keyframe in space here. Move that down. I was zoomed in 200%. I'm going to go and fit this into the screen now so I can see the entire thing. Move the scrubber over here. So now I've animated with the right on effect, almost like a brush stroke coming in. So you see here the paint style is I'm putting it on the original image. So now I've animated that stroke like that with the right on. Here is the other beauty thing about the right on is you don't only have to animate the brush stroke, you can change this from on the original image to reveal original image. So instead of painting over top of it, you can make it appear. So if I go reveal, you see it's knocked out here, but now it's going to reveal the original image. So with the space bar, I'm going to check that out. Now it is making it appear. So those are the two useful things for the right on effect. You can paint on or you can reveal things. Let's turn all these on now and see what this whole animation looks like with just some trim paths and right on effect. There you go.